to another edition of Palm Springs Edge TV, your inside source for all that is music and entertainment from across the valley and beyond. I'm your host, Sarah D, and this week is all about fashion and art. Well, almost. This edition of Edge will take a look at one of the hottest events of the year, El Paseo Fashion Week. Not only does this sexy event draw in some of the finest models and designers nationwide and worldwide, but it also helps to support the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission, an organization dedicated to providing services to help the homeless people in our community. Follow along as we take you through the Fashion Week experience of San Francisco native jewelry designer Angela Romeo and her latest collection, the Sleep Chain. As you may remember, her previous collections have featured everything from rosary beads to sinister comic book cutouts. Later on in the show, we'll bring a new element to our fashion coverage, body art, specifically tattoos. Couture tattoos, that is. So don't go anywhere as we bring you the latest and greatest in music, entertainment, and fashion from across the runway and beyond.
Sleep Chain collection is not like any of the others. It's a much more random collection. It's pieces were inspired by thoughts and ideas that come to you when you're sleeping. In the middle of the night, something pops in your head, you remember a piece that you had or an idea that you had or a dream that scares the crap out of you, and you write it down and you text it out or you call somebody and it develops into a piece. The cohesiveness in this particular collection is each of the pieces carries over a cloth chain. And that is the only common denominator in that collection. Other than that, they're all just random thoughts. It's much more whimsical than any of the collections that preceded it. It's very different from the Art to Wear collection. It's very different from the collection I did, Palm Springs Redux. And it's very radically different from the Love Hurts collection. Sometimes they're just wonderful pieces and it's nice to use them in an unusual way or a different way. And I think that's what makes each piece unique. It's not a diamond set in a Tiffany mount setting. It's a piece of copper set with a raw diamond, or it's a chrome piece that's now set with pearls. Some of them are scary faces. They were just those little nightmares you have, and I remember that I had these pieces of pottery, and I keep thinking of these little horror movies where these little things all come to life, and I knew they were all sitting there in a box. I knew I could use them, and that's where they came from. The Buddha faces I show up a lot because they're very calming and they're very soothing, and these faces are a little more jarring and a little more like they might come back and bite you when you're not really paying much attention to them. The one piece that I did do for the Sleep Chain has a very large, almost lily on it, and it took what were really flat, kind of matte stones and sort of made it pop. And again, I see it as a unisex, a very masculine piece. I was a little kid that got the Barbie doll and got the Barbie dress and said, wouldn't the Barbie just be really cool if it had a cutout right here? I'm like a little kid with a box of string. If you give me the string and you leave me alone, I'll come up with something. My teddy bear had a little aluminum spacesuit because I thought, wow, that'd be really cool. Never left anything the same. It's the material, that's what you need to play with. And then the thoughts come with it, and they'll tell you what they want to be when they grow up. They will tell you what they want to be. I rarely sketch things out, and when I do sketch a piece out, the sketch and the finished piece, they don't look anything alike.
so exciting. And what's really cool about tonight is that we've got a lot of local stores, local vendors, local designers showing what is really coming out of the Valley. So we're going to be paying attention to trends, paying attention to people. I'm just so excited to see it all. So who are you here to see for Fashion Week?
Oh, I'm here to see all the amazing designers. Every night this week is just amazing. You're surprised with something new every night.
We've got Angela Romeo. We've seen her work before, from art to wear. We're going to see her again at El Paseo Fashion Week. How are you feeling right before the show?
I'm actually feeling pretty good about this show. I'm happy with the music, I'm happy with the pieces, I love the outfits that they're going to be in.
I'm excited to see everything. This is my first time in Fashion Week, so I'm just taking it all in.
Well, and that's what we're looking for to see, a more modern change on things with a really edgy
A
cut.
lot of unisex stuff. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
They mixed it up. I think there was something for everybody there.
The men were wonderful.
We love the event. It's a great event every year. We always come.
That was El Paseo Fashion Bar, which included my wardrobe tonight, Shishi. Both Shishi and 13 other El Paseo shops, including Angela Romeo, showed off their best wares at this kickoff to Fashion Week. Coming up in the show, we'll sit down with Arthur C., our new music correspondent on Edge TV, as he sits down in the Bitter Sound studio with couture tattoo artist Friday Jones, as she talks tats, fashion, and life. But first, let's move on to the after parties that made 2010's El Paseo Fashion Week an around-the-clock event. We start over at the Parker Palm Springs, where Carl Vasquez heats things up with a sizzling swimwear fashion show. Now, speaking of great fashion, let's check out a typical Saturday at one of the best places in the desert to pick up that hard-to-find accessory, summer dress, or household necessity. Springs Edge TV. I'm your host, Sarah D. We are spending a gorgeous Palm Desert day at the College of the Desert Street Fair. Don't worry about eating breakfast or lunch. Come here, come hungry. There's plenty of food to eat. There's fresh produce, and did I mention shopping? Because there is plenty of it. Martin Robert Fine Arts. This guy, you can actually see his art and his pieces at the Bellagio in Vegas. This is gorgeous.
Well, thank you, and I'll tell you why they're eye-catching. These are actually fine art paintings, but they're far more than a painting. They're a black and white photograph, and all the color is put in by hand. They're done with watercolor, acrylic, and oil paint over the black and white photograph.
That's amazing. How long have you been doing that?
Since I was just a youngster. In fact, I have one of the world's largest collections of the Mediterranean.
It's a organic aloe vera gel. It's a good sun protectant as well as good for sunburn.
Smells good.
Smells good, a spa-like aroma. Doesn't freeze or burn. Goes on, doesn't stain your clothes.
Don't stop.
Never stop, okay? Massages are free. 5 minutes worth, I think we'll stop, but not until then.
Right, let's go try on some hats. Let's get the sun out of our eyes. This is a perfect one for out by the pool in your little bikini. Little beret. How do we get this thing off? Is it easy?
Yeah.
Just throw it off. Adorable. Adorable. What do we got next? What do we got? Hot. 29 bucks? Way better than anything you find at the mall. Next on the old map. There's a lot to see here. There's plenty going on, from arts and crafts, clothing, food, jewelry, hair accessories, art, sculptures, anything you could think of, it's here. Ooh, bada blings. For all those parties, fashion week, all that stuff that goes on out here in the desert, you need a lot of jewelry for all your clothes. Christian Home and Fine Art Gallery is pleased to be hosting the unveiling of Splendid, the latest series of paintings from up-and-coming German artist Mansour Karger. And Edge TV is here to catch all the action. All right, we have managed to snag the artist of the night, Mansour Karger. We've got him in the back of the gallery, away from the show up front, for a little inside peek into his creative mind and his world. So how are you doing tonight?
Good, very excited.
Very excited. The crowd is pouring in. Do you get nervous?
Of course.
Yeah? Are you anxious to hear like what their views are and what their opinions are?
Yeah, of course, because now I'm naked. You know, I did my work, everything's there, I can't do anything. So everything is in God's hands.
Wow, that's an interesting way to put it, naked. That seems to be maybe a theme throughout your art too, is the female form, and it's sexy and it's bold. And
as a painter, you paint what you see, right? And as a modern contemporary painter, I don't see landscapes. I live in Berlin, right? There's no landscape. When I open the door, there are billboards, there are advertising all over the place. I open the magazine. This is what I see and this is what I paint. I decided, okay, I paint this. This is what I see. When I picked all the images I paint, is of course I have to somehow be attracted, and of course I'm attracted by beautiful women and mouth and everything. So that's why I paint them. So.
And is there a purpose as far as kind of distorting the beauty? Because you put like a beautiful face or mouth and then you've got bullets covering it. So where does that come?
Because if you see all these kind of images every day, they're like one side of the magazine is a beautiful face, the other side is like bad news, right? So it's all in your head. Yeah. And it's disturbing, but in a way we are also fascinated by, for example, bullets, right? So I put them together and it's on you. What do you feel when you look at it? I don't have a message. I don't want to teach people.
You just put it out there and let them think whatever they want.
Yep.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about seducement. Is that the right word? Yeah. So it's all about seducement. So art is about seducement.
Sensual. And
right. And now advertising world is about seducement, and they want to make people.
Sex sells, right?
Sex sells. Put it that way.
Well, then I think your paintings will sell very well because they are very sexy. I do love them. So tell me more about your background and how you got into painting and your background with that.
So I'm half Afghan. My father's from Afghanistan, but I grew up in Germany and I started studying painting in Germany. In a small town and in Berlin, and now I live in Berlin, and I live there as a painter, among other artists, many artists in Berlin. And
did you study formally, or are you self-taught?
No, formally, at a University of Painting, and that's what I've been doing for like 20 years already, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing for the next 20, 80, whatever years.
Do what you love. Well, Edge TV thanks you, all of our viewers. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you again for inviting us into your world and letting us know more about you and your art. Thank you so much. Mansour Karger, German artist. All right, I heard Christian Homan, the owner of the gallery, is back here in his vault of art. Here he is. Christian also happens to be a leading expert in German art. Hi, Christian.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I found you back here in your safe of treasures.
Yeah, our storage vault.
Yeah.
I was just pulling out a painting for a client. Somebody wanted to see this painting by Peter Schettler, and so I was just pulling it out.
Wonderful. So we caught you hard at work.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we feature almost 100 different artists. So tonight we have this one particular show that we're focusing on. But, as you can see here, we have a lot of inventory and
got a lot back here.
Yeah, we need it.
And is a lot of it by German artists?
Yeah, that's kind of our focus. My whole family is in the art business, but the roots are really in Germany. So my parents started that about 40 years ago in Germany. And then I had my first gallery in Hamburg when I was 21, and then another one in Berlin. And then I came to the States about 8 years ago. But with all the resources that we had over in Germany, and because that's really my field of expertise, we focused on that here in the States, and interestingly enough, very successfully. Germany has still, up to this day, probably one of the best art scenes in the world. Like I think 4 or 5 of the top 10 artists in the world are still, German. I don't know why. I can't tell you. It's maybe the education.
Very good. And it sounds like you've got a lot of followers because you were at a previous gallery and now you have your own. And even just talking to the people out there tonight, they say, we've been following Christian for a while, and it's great to see him have his own place now. How does it feel to have your own gallery?
Yeah, it feels good. It was a little bit with one crying and one laughing eye, because that was also family. My aunt, Eva Hart, she had the Hart Galleries for over 10 years, and I was running her gallery for the last 7 years just down the street. And then last year she decided to retire and asked me what I would like to do. And so, for me there was no doubt I wanted to, keep going. And so she helped me open my own gallery, and here we are now. And it's it's still interesting. The first months, we just opened in October, but it's been great. The reception has been great. The feedback has been great. So it's just been phenomenal.
Well, wonderful, Christian. Keep up the good work. Thank you for letting us back here to see all of your treasures and everything you have. It's simply amazing to be back here, and the night tonight was absolutely breathtaking. So
It was great to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Our pleasure. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Palm Springs Edge TV.
What's up, everybody? It is Patrick from 93.7 KCLB Rocks, and we are down here in Indio, in the Indio Fairgrounds, to do the big monster truck show. So everybody, you can feel the excitement. We're getting close. The monster trucks are just about to bash the crap out of all these cars, but also the kids get to have a ton of fun cruising around on their four-wheelers. We got regular people bringing their regular truck down here to beat the hell out of it. That's one of the favorite parts. The mud bogs, the tough trucks. We're down here in Indio on a Saturday night, ready to have a good time, so let's check it out.
My name is Kelvin Rammer. I drive Time Flies, and my job here is to put a show on, and if everybody enjoys it, we all win. Time Flies has been out just a little over a year. It's a 1934 Ford. We have 30-inch travel shocks in the rear and a 26-inch in the front. The truck's designed to actually fly and run in large arenas, go 30 feet in the air, do wheelies, and just go out and have fun.
My name is Justin Cluster. I'm out of Watsonville, California. The truck I drive is called Fired Up. I have a 572 big block Chevy in it, running about 1,600 horsepower. It should be a lot of fun tonight. There's a lot of good trucks here, and I hope you guys get all fired up for some good action, huh?
My name's Ronnie Sturgis. I drive Nasty Boy. It's a 1940s Willys pickup. It's got 20-inch travel shocks. I got a 572 cubic inch motor. It's putting out about 1,400 horses. So, I got pretty good horsepower out there in the track. So.
And tell us who you want to win. Stinky Boy. Nasty Boy.
What's up, Desert viewers and beyond? This is Artie Love in the Bitter Sand Studio. We got a special guest today, my good friend Freddie Jones, tattoo couture artist, celebrity artist to the stars and beyond. We're going to be talking with her and seeing what she's about and the amazing things that she's doing and coming up and blowing up the tattoo industry. Friday.
Right on, Artie.
How are you?
Oh man, it's so good to be here in the desert with you, bro.
Right? The good time of year to be in the desert.
This is, I come here every year, as you well know. At least this time of year, maybe twice.
We plan our tattoos by the season, so we've done this stuff. She's apparently have done all my tattoos. We've done everything from New Orleans to LA to this place.
We did New York, we did Detroit.
New York.
Ozfest, Detroit.
DC, right?
Yeah. It's been rock and roll
Good times.
for sure, man.
So I guess let's get to the point. What is going on with you? Tell us about what you got going on.
Well, lately we've been holding up in Manhattan on 5th Avenue, and we're bringing tattooing to, we call it white collar tattooing. So it's the wider market that we can now enjoy. Say rock and roll and tattooing. So,
true that. Taking it to the next level, higher level.
Yeah. It's mostly customer service driven. We have the fine art and all the craftsmanship, but now we're adding a little maybe cucumber water and Chardonnay, maybe a massage if you're inclined.
So talk a little more about that. It's kind of like a high-end scale, upscale. You can go get your massage and get your cucumber face peel and then get your super high-end couture tattoo. Yeah. Is that what you guys got going on?
Yeah, pretty much in a nutshell. So we have so much education now about tattooing and what the culture is like that we've opened up to expand into maybe more private, dare I say, spiritually driven images and an experience. And along with that, the amenities that you would find in a spa.
It brought it more to the mainstream where it's not as taboo.
And we certainly have to thank the prior generation for that. We see
for sure.
people like Lyle Tuttle on the cover of Rolling Stone in '70, and he had tattooed Janis Joplin. So Janis was an entertainer showing her tattoos, Cher's getting tattooed, and then all of a sudden, you see a lot of baby boomers stepping in. And now
what I'll say about Friday Jones is what's amazing about her is she lives and breathes her art. It's not just a job where I'm gonna go tattoo. I can trace, so then therefore I can tattoo. She lives and breathes it. Like, you feel that peace, and when you're like done, it's, whew, that took a lot. Because we, like all this stuff we've talked about, drew it on my arm, designed it, and you know, and especially for me too, it's an important aspect. It's gonna be on me for the rest of my life, first of all.
Identifies you too.
And it has to be something meaningful to me, which I think a lot of people get lost in that. They just want something because it's cool, so they'll go get that whatever Tasmanian devil and blah blah blah.
Well,
but if that rocks their boat too, by all means go do it. Right on, man.
Yeah.
I've got one or two that are pretty hilarious myself, so that's fine. So I hear you're shooting a pilot for said reality show as well.
Yes,
let's
we're
talk
so
about
excited
that.
about that. We were with award-winning Irwin Entertainment, and one of their executive producers, Shannon Fitzgerald, flew out from LA.
And she brought us Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
She
right?
certainly
We can blame her for
She
that.
Single-handedly
Right
did
on.
that, and then now with Irwin, they have the Dr. Drew shows, so we feel like we're in really good company.
FridayJones.net, correct?
Yep.
Check her out. She's amazing. I love her to death. One of the few people that I truly love in my life that is a genuine, positive, organic human being she brings positivity in all aspects of life. So check her out, log on, tune in, drop out. Palm Springs Edge TV. Check it out. Thank you so much.
Well, Edge viewers, that wraps up our coverage of 2010's El Paseo Fashion Week. We'd like to thank everyone who helped out on this episode. 93.7 KCLB, Carl Vasquez Salon, Models Inc., Shishi, FFE Jewels, and all the great people over at College of the Desert Alumni Association. And if you'd like to check out all the many great things the Street Fair has to offer, they're located on the beautiful campus of College of the Desert. And they're open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday through May, and till noon beginning in June. And don't forget, as always, you can see this and every episode of Palm Springs Edge TV on PalmSpringsLiveEvents.com. Stay tuned for next time when we celebrate Coachella Festival and the grand opening of Cathedral City's newest body art studio, Tattoo Gallery. This is Sarah D signing off from the gardens on El Paseo. Stay edgy, Palm Springs. All right, Sarah D here. We have managed to sneak our way backstage at El Paseo Fashion Week 2010 and the designer of the week, Colleen Quinn. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling fabulous right now. Kind of euphoric.
A little euphoric, a little just out of your element, out of yourself.
Exactly, and I'm just so grateful to be here at Palm Springs. This is the first time here, and it's such a beautiful welcoming.
Wonderful. Now, I have to ask, what was your inspiration for the collection? Because it was beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's been actually a retrospect of my work for the past 5 to 10 years. So you'll see a lot of color, and I'm known for color and for my shapes. So you'll see architectural shapes, very sharp lines, but very clean at the same time, and feminine. And color actually expresses your emotions. So you'll see in each gown there is an expression or an emotion for each design.